Alcatraz was more than just a prison. It was the end of the line for Canada's most dangerous criminals, a place where hope seemed to vanish. Isolated in the middle of San Francisco Bay, surrounded by icy waters and treacherous currents, the island was designed to be inescapable, a true nightmare for anyone dreaming of freedom. Before it became a prison, it was a military fort and a military prison, guarding secrets and stories from a bygone era. The name came from the Spanish, Isla de los Alcatrazes, inspired by the birds that lived in the area. In 1934, it became a symbol of government control during the era of big-time gangsters, a clear message to anyone who dared to defy the law. The cells were made of reinforced steel, the guards highly trained, and its location was its biggest asset, making any escape almost impossible. Arriving at Alcatraz was like being exiled from everything. The city so close, yet unreachable, increasing the prisoners' despair. The rule was clear: food, clothing, shelter, and medical care. Everything else was a privilege, earned through good behavior. Simple rights, like reading or working, could be taken away at any moment, making daily life even tougher. Its fame as The Rock grew. They said it was easier for a dead man to leave than a living one, feeding the fear and the legend. There were 14 escape attempts, involving 36 men. None were successful, despite ingenious plans. Most were recaptured, some died, others drowned in the treacherous waters around the island. Alcatraz lived up to its promise. Nobody escaped, and the prison's reputation only grew. But every fortress has its weak point, even the most feared one of all. And one day, someone dared to challenge the impossible, risking everything for a chance at freedom. It was the beginning of a legend that would echo for generations and inspire stories even today. Alcatraz was a prison designed to crush not just the body, but also the minds of its inmates. Tiny cells, absolute silence, and up to 23 hours a day locked up with no human contact. Sound was a rare privilege. Silence, a constant and relentless torture. The island seemed close to the coast, but the icy waters and deadly currents made any escape almost suicidal. Guards claimed sharks patrolled the bay, further fueling the prisoners' fear. Security was absolute. Watchtowers, trained guards, and even their families lived permanently on the island. For the prisoners, hearing life outside was a cruel and constant reminder of what they had lost. Block D, solitary confinement, was the ultimate punishment. Isolation, total darkness, bread and water. Many came out of there completely mentally broken and without hope. Every detail reinforced the idea that there was no way out, no hope possible. Alcatraz was an impenetrable fortress, or at least that's how it seemed to everyone. But even the most secure prisons in the world have weaknesses, and someone was about to find them, changing history forever. The routine at Alcatraz was designed to erase any trace of individuality. The day started early, with constant counts and supervised meals. The dining hall was the most tense spot, even equipped with tear gas to prevent riots. The food was surprisingly good, a tactic to maintain order. Working was a privilege. Those who didn't stayed locked up almost all day. Among the prisoners were legendary names: Al Capone, who lost all his power and became just another number. George Machine Gun Kelly and Robert Stroud, the Birdman, also spent time there. Stroud, contrary to the myth, didn't keep birds at Alcatraz. He spent most of his time in solitary confinement. These men helped create the prison's grim aura, but none of them managed to escape, until a new plan started to take shape. The execution of the plan was a spectacle of creativity and ingenuity, showing just how inventive the human mind can be when faced with extreme challenges. They used spoons stolen from the dining hall and an improvised drill to dig through the thick cell walls, working night after night in absolute silence. They hid the holes with fake cardboard walls, carefully molded to blend in with the prison environment. To fool the guards during night counts, they created fake heads with soap, paper, and real hair taken from the barbershop floor. The raft and life vests were made from over 50 raincoats, stitched and sealed with hot steam from the prison pipes. They used an adapted concertina, normally used to play music, to inflate the makeshift raft. On the night of June 11, 1962, Morris and the Anglin brothers escaped through the walls, climbed onto the roof, and descended to the icy water. Alan West was left behind, trapped by his own fake wall, unable to get out in time. The three ran to the edge of the island, inflated the raft in a hurry, and disappeared into the darkness of the night. The most daring and legendary escape in Alcatraz's history was underway. They had beaten the routine, the watchful guards, and the insurmountable walls. All that remained was the bay, the last and most dangerous obstacle, and no one knew if they would survive the crossing. The next morning, chaos erupted at Alcatraz. The fake heads were discovered and the biggest manhunt in history began. The FBI, Coast Guard, and police scoured the bay, but only found clues: an oar, pieces of raincoat, a package of photos. No sign of the men, no bodies, no raft. The FBI declared they had drowned. Case closed. But the absence of bodies fueled the mystery. The Anglin family claimed to receive signs from the brothers. A mysterious letter surfaced in 2013, but the DNA was inconclusive. TV shows proved that the escape was possible with the same materials. The case became a movie, a legend, and a national debate. Officially, they remain missing. For many, they are the only ones who beat the rock. The mystery remains, and the legend just keeps growing. The 1962 escape shook Alcatraz's reputation. The most secure prison in the world was defeated by 3 men and a few spoons. But the official reason for the closure was the absurd cost of maintaining the island. Everything had to be transported by boat, and the structure was deteriorating. The cost per inmate was 3 times higher than in other prisons. Necessary repairs would cost millions. The government decided it was cheaper to build a new prison on the mainland. In March 1963, Alcatraz closed its doors. The last inmate left saying, "Alcatraz was never good for anyone." The prison era ended, but its legend was just beginning, and the mystery of the escape was never solved. Alcatraz closed, but it never lost its allure. Today, it's one of San Francisco's most visited tourist attractions. Millions walk through the corridors where Al Capone and Frank Morris once were. The legacy is twofold: a symbol of extreme punishment and human resilience. The 1962 escape transformed the narrative, from an invincible prison to the stage of the greatest escape in history. Morris and the Anglins became legends, anti-heroes who challenged the impossible. Alcatraz is a reminder of a harsh system, but also of creativity and hope. The desire for freedom can overcome even the highest walls. The mystery of the escape keeps the island alive in the popular imagination. And with every visit, the question returns: did they make it? The myth of Alcatraz never dies. The question echoes to this day: did they make it? The FBI says no, but the lack of proof keeps the doubt alive. Morris and the Anglin brothers became myths, symbols of hope and ingenuity. The possibility that they beat the bay is more fascinating than the official version. The mystery is what keeps the legend alive. Alcatraz, once a symbol of despair, became the stage for one of the greatest enigmas of the 20th century. As long as there's no answer, the story continues to intrigue us. And you, do you believe they escaped? Leave your theory in the comments. See you on the next adventure.